Let's wait for a couple of more minutes and we will start the session. Okay? Yeah, hi, Hari Krishna. Hi, Imtiaz. Yeah, so I unmuted you. Yes, you raised your hand, right? Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, Hussein. Tell me.
Yeah. Hi. Good morning, sir. Karthik.
Yeah. Good evening. Yeah.
Yeah, I have one query.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it is the advanced level, right?
Yeah. So it is not advanced level. It is like from basic to intermediate level. So
Oh.
yeah.
Mhm.
So anyhow, we will just go through the syllabus today. And
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, you just go through that and you just review that, right? So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, no problem. So I guess we will start today's demo session at least. Yeah, once again, hello all, welcome to the session. Let me move on to the next slide. So this is Linux Admin 176 and it is purely based on RHCSA certification. We will see L2 also, Shafi. Okay, so it is like till L1 and L2. Okay, so yeah, a little bit about myself, Karthik here. So I done my RHCSA certification and about to give RHCE in later in another 2 more months and currently working as a senior system engineer. Okay, so now we will see what is Linux and why we need Linux in 2023, right? So why it is useful still till now, as it's been there for quite some time, right? So let me just share my whole screen so that you guys can see that. So what is Linux now? So Linux is nothing but a operating system just like your Windows, right? So Windows, Mac OS, and much more are there. But Linux is also having a like their market share is also there. And why we are not recognizing Linux as a closed environment or closed operating system? Why it is a open source till now, right? So that is the intention of the founder who found the like the kernel of Linux, right? So that guy, the intention of the like fine like the main purpose of Linux is to give the open source and as well as anyone can like utilize the operating system and the full potential of it. So it should not be restricted by a paywall, right? So that is the main intention. Whereas the competitions like Windows was notorious enough to ask for payment for most of the things, right? So like from Office suite to almost every major things. So that is the main use of Linux. And so why we need to like what are all the distributions of Linux, right? So yeah, let me. So why it is called as distributions now? So let me just open a new tab. Share the screen. Yeah. So these are all the Linux distributions, right? So many are there. So these are all the major ones. So Ubuntu. So you guys might have familiar with Ubuntu and yeah. So Kali Linux is for penetration testing. Many would be there. So these are all kind of outdated one. So Element OS is there, the latest one, and Pop OS is there, and the one which we are going to see is Red Hat. Okay, so Red Hat operating system. So what is Red Hat Enterprise Linux? So why it is Red Hat has been there for a while, and why it is has its own benefit over any other distros, right? So Red Hat is a vendor or a it is a third party company which is having their own version of Linux. So that is the use of Linux. Okay, so let me just open the kernel which that I yeah, this is the one. So if you see here, this is the actual kernel which he introduced. Yeah, so this is the one. Torvalds, right? So this he is the founder of this, or he was the one who coded the kernel, right? So this is the actual kernel, and if you have access to this, and it is also open source certified. Okay, so you can see a lot of contributors, and this is one of the most contributed one in the whole Git, and he is also one of the founder for Git as well, the one which we are using, right? So not GitHub. So Git is a separate version control management, and Linus Torvalds has a lot of contribution in that as well. Okay, so this is the actual kernel of your Linux operating system. So what is kernel and those things we will see anyhow later. But coming back to Red Hat, so why Red Hat or why we need to do that? Sorry, understand Red Hat is because Red Hat has the market share of around 80% of the enterprise market. So what is enterprise, which I'm meaning is the companies. Okay, so the end user also we are using a Red Hat where still like even we can install the operating system, but still it has been licensed and it's been used. A lot of companies prefer Red Hat because of their exceptional support after aftermarket support, this one, right? So that is the thing. And Red Hat owns Ansible. So you guys might have heard Ansible, right? So Ansible and JFrog, so many are there. Red Hat has their own OpenShift cloud platform. So many are there. So Red Hat is uh, like a very big MNC. It's been now. So in from its early days, it's been evolving quite a lot, like Oracle. Okay, so it is almost same like Oracle now. So you see here, they've been there in almost every topics you see here. So yeah. Now coming back to the slides. So in any, not only in Linux, in any operating systems, all these 5 categories are very, very important. And we will see each of these categories in our session. Okay, so first thing is here, user management and disk management. And after that, we'll see process management. Okay, so that is again a very, very important one. So how in an operating system, how each process we can manipulate it, and we can review and diagnose if something goes wrong, right? So that one we will see in this process management. And server troubleshooting. So let's say there is a server hung state, or something is not working in the system, right? So we are the one, as a sysadmin, you will be the one who will be troubleshooting it. And this is what these two are very, very important ways. Okay, even though this two, like user management and disk management, by default you must know no other option, but these two so on the whatever we are doing in our company, I will explain you how it works. Okay, a again, all these are practical session, which is there is no MCQ or nothing. Okay, so like it will be purely practical based. So that is why this RHCSA certification is has its own credibility over any other certification, right? So what is RHCSA now? So RHCSA full form is Red Hat. So Red Hat Certified System Administrator. Okay, so this is the certification, and the exam code is EX200. Okay, and anyone can give or attend this exam. So there is no prerequisite. Okay, and there is no this is like a entry level to intermediate level. This certification would be for any system system administrator, and with this certificate you are letting people know that you know Linux till intermediate level. Obviously, advanced level also you might know, but in this exam you won't get too much advanced level questions. So that is the thing. So we as a like in this course we will be revolving around this certification only. All the questions and almost everything we will be seeing that the topics and much more than this we will be seeing, but most of the topics will be revolving around this. Why? Because with this certificate itself, it will be almost complete. So if you are very new to Linux, right? So you just Google EX200, and this if you go to objectives, you can see almost every important thing, right? So how to boot an operating system, how to interrupt it, right? So all this we'll be covering and much more than this. Okay, so that is the important thing. Now, this one we already saw, right? So the overview is the user management, disk, and process. These are all the main pillars of Linux. Not only Linux, any operating system, you must need these three. So with these three only, you can differentiate, or each operating system differentiates itself based on the features of all these three components, right? So user, disk, and process management. So yeah, so if you want to see the course content, you just scan this one. This slide will be sent to you guys. Okay, you just scan this, and anyhow the same content only you'll be seeing, which we will be discussing in a moment. This syllabus. Okay, so don't take notes or don't worry about today's session. So today we will be just seeing what is the overview and what the course would be about. So don't worry. Anyhow, this will be sent to you guys. Okay. So the first thing is we'll be seeing what is this operating system, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and version 8 I given here. So this would be, or this course would be applicable for version 8 and 9. Okay, and the next one is, as you guys might already know, that Linux is on like 90%, it would be about uh, commands, right? So just a sec, someone is raising hand. Yeah, I unmuted you guys.
Yeah, so this is Daniel. How are you doing? Good morning
Yeah,
here.
yeah, hi, yeah,
So this is a quick question. So for this particular course, we'll be mostly concentrate with the Red Hat, right? Enterprise. What about
exactly.
what about the Ubuntu, Linux? So those ones we're not going to cover that one here. Only the Red Hat, right?
Yeah, so like with most of the commands, it would be the same, Daniel. Okay, so it is like the shell command. So basic commands or the essential commands, which I put here, right? All the essential commands would be same for Ubuntu or any distros you see here, Fedora or anything. It would be the same. But for for Ubuntu, some commands would differ. So let's say here it is called as yum. There it would be called as apt update. So like that, some commands it would be differing, but almost it would be the same. And the basic premise is like how an operating system works and how you will approach that, right? So that is
Okay.
what we will be seeing in this course, as well as Red Hat is preferred in almost every company. So that
Okay.
is
Okay.
the main thing. So if you have this
Okay.
certification or this knowledge,
Mhm.
you can survive in
Mhm.
any company. That is the thing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Thank you. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
yeah, no problem. Yeah. So even Arjun raised his hand. I guess he would have the same question, I guess. So that is what, guys, like on day-to-day basis, what and all we will be seeing. I'll be so just give a moment. I will complete this one and we will have a doubt clearing session, right? So yeah, thanks, Ashok, for donating time. And yeah, so that's what, as Daniel asked. So there are so many commands. Actually, the binaries, or it is called as binaries or commands, right? So the commands are around 2000 commands are there. So obviously, no one can remember all those, right? So we'll be seeing the most used or most relevant commands around 150 to 200 commands. So again, this would be a lot to take in, but it is easy, right? So anyhow, I will make sure it would be understandable to you guys, and it would be easy for you to grasp or understand why we are using that command in that place, right? So that is the thing. And the next one is on the next session we'll be installing the operating system, right? So or if possible, I will try to show you how to install today itself, and we'll be installing it in VMware Workstation, which is our local machine, like our laptop or your PC. Or if not, or if your laptop is not capable enough, you can install in AWS or any cloud service provider, right? So the next one is uh, like for any operating system or in your enterprise, you will or you must monitor, because as most of the companies, you won't have just 2 to 3 systems. So 2 to 3 systems, servers or system, you can, like as a single person you can monitor. But if you are having more than 4000 servers, obviously you need a monitoring tool or a whole monitoring team just to monitor all the important metrics. So what is metrics now? CPU, memory, and disk. So these are all the basic metrics. Obviously, networking also you will come in, but mostly these three you must monitor. Let's say there is a spike in the memory. So what went wrong, or which application is consuming more memory all of a sudden, right? So it would be a typical day, and all of a sudden there is a spike. So that so you need to do a uh, like root cause analysis of why it went wrong. Or so as a sysadmin, you are like you are the responsible person for at least like pinpointing the exact team who need to take action. So you will be the first level of supporting that, right? So that is the main thing. And this monitoring, there are so many tools are there. So basically inside the server itself or internal tools like top command or free. So using so many commands, you can see IO stat is there. Whereas the monitoring tools are Zabbix is there, New Relic. So we will try to see some at least one tool, right? So ELK stack. So again, this include log monitoring as well. So in ELK stack, you can monitor your logs. Okay, so that's what. So many tools are there. So all these tools will comes under your DevOps as well. So not only so system administration or whatever we are seeing, right? So this is like a kind of foundational level for a DevOps engineer. So if you have this knowledge, obviously the next thing would be your DevOps, and after that you will go, you can apply for SRE. Okay, so site reliability engineer. So ELK stack, so many are there. I'm just naming some tools only. Okay, so Grafana. So this is what in our company we are using to monitor all this. Not only these, much more than this. Okay, so the network like bytes in, bytes out, many we can monitor, GPU utilization and much more. Right, so that's what. And yeah, so the next one would be your user management. So these are all the subtopics in your user management. And 1 second. Okay, someone unmuted. Okay, fine. So these are all the subtopics in your user management. Okay, like these are all the basics we will start with. How to create a user, or how to like modify, create, remove, all this. And the main thing is super user. So what is a super user and why we need that in the first place? So this is a very interesting concept which is not there in your Windows, right? So in Windows it is a totally different way you will be approaching this one. So here it would be a totally different one. So user rights and many more we will be seeing in the user management. And the much more important is your group management, because in your enterprise you won't be only provisioning to only one user, right? So let's say there is a application team and backup team. So if one guy belongs to both the teams, let's say he's a director and he belongs to both the teams, so you can't individually provision all the access, right? So it will be, he will be delegated to each of this team, right? So on this team will have all that required access, not much more than that, or the root account access or the admin access, right? So those all the things we'll be seeing. So how to provision the access or how to manipulate it, almost everything we'll be seeing in this user management. Okay, so the next one is the basic OS concept. So this will be default for every operating system, right? So your Ubuntu, or it can be of any distros or distributions, it would be the same. Okay, so the essential commands and your grep is to search for a regular expression, and your SSH connectivity. So now is where we will see SSH. So SSH full form is secure shell. Okay, so again, these are all some random words or terms it would be for you as of now. But while once you start the session, it will make much more sense, guys. Okay, and archiving. So how to create an archive? So even in your Windows, you're creating a WinRAR, or you're compressing a directory, right? So that is what archiving, and how and why we need to do that in the first place. So that and all we will be seeing like in terms of enterprise point of view, all like almost everything, because obviously you are learning for to get a job, or anyhow if you're already working also, like that is what the main premise here, right? So that's what. So in an enterprise you will be archiving your logs or any old data you will be archiving, right? So how to archive that and how to push that to some path or to a different server, or how to pull from using WinSAP, you can pull to your system. So those things we can see here. And these are all file manipulation, guys. So how to create a file, delete, move, and this all we'll be seeing in uh, like in another 2 or 3 sessions. We'll be seeing all this basic stuff. Okay, so this will be there, or this commands which we use in these kind of topics will be same for any operating system. Okay. Any Linux operating system, especially, and the hard link and soft link, and file permissions. So this is very, very important, file permissions and all. So because that is how you will limit a user not to use a file, and like who will be the ownership of the file. So much more use or you're creating a walled garden setup for a specific, let's say, confidential file or a specific folder. So those kind of stuff we'll be seeing here. Very important topic. This one would be file permissions. And the next one would be what is in the next session itself, we'll be seeing what is boot order or the booting procedure. Okay. And we'll be seeing how to interrupt the boot and gain the or move to the emergency mode, it is called as, right? So those things we'll be seeing. And so this all comes under system diagnostic. So identify which went, or if there is any process which is using much more resources than it usually do, right? So from what time to what time it is like consuming a lot of resources, right? So you are the one who need to identify that at what exact time the issue occurs, right? So those things we will be seeing, and tuning profile, and yeah, system journals. So all these log files are there, are like as a sysadmin you will be working on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so because so like your work is to troubleshoot a issue. Again, you might ask, okay, there won't be much issues, right, on day-to-day basis. Obviously not, because if it is just 2 or 3 servers, obviously very few issues, and the most of the issues will be a known one. Since you are having much more servers, and many companies are having at least 3,000 to 4,000 servers, it would be there, right? So you would see a lot of new issues, or you need to understand those issues and act accordingly, right? So that is the thing. And in order to understand the issue, right, so you need the log files. Obviously everything will be logged in a production server. Okay, so the next one is, yeah, start and stop, and check the status of. I mentioned network here. It will be like any services, any system services. You can you need to analyze what went wrong, or whether it is not starting, right? So all those we will be seeing, and how to securely transfer files like using rsync and scp. Okay, so the next one would be, so just 2 more slides and we'll be seeing all your query. Okay, and yeah, so this is like a disk management. So this is a very different approach to disk management. So it is with the same like your Windows, but in Windows it works bit different compared to here. So and the major advantage of this one is, just a sec, let me show you. In your Windows, you can't combine. In my case, I have only one disk. Okay, so like in your Linux, you can combine multiple disks and create a mount point, or create a file system out of it. So that is a very new concept, or that is one of the unique selling point of using Linux, especially in an enterprise. Obviously, Windows Server is also preferred, but Linux is much more preferred, and very straightforward when it comes to disk management, especially because in Windows, this disk management has not been updated for quite some time. From Windows 7, it's been the same. Okay, so that is the thing. So it is very interesting, and on day-to-day basis, you will, or you must provision this one, disk management, or how to partition a disk, how to remove a disk if something was not correctly configured. So all those you must do. As a sysadmin, you are the one who will have access to all this, right? So very important topic this would be, especially as a sysadmin. So this all comes under L2. So L1 or level 1 sysadmin will be doing all the user management related stuff. So only L2 will have the access to do the disk management or some process management. So this all is a level 2 concepts. And again, it is continuation of the same, how to create, mount, unmount all the file systems, and how to extend the existing LV, or logical volume. This is what mostly you will be doing on day-to-day basis. And yeah, so how to diagnose some file permission issues, how to like how to first thing, how you approach that issue. So that is what uh, separate you from a typical sysadmin, right? So how would you approach that effectively, right? So that is very important. And so this strategy and video is like advanced use of LV concept or LVM concept. So those two also we'll be seeing, right? So the next one is here, security. So security and networking. So security is what defines how resilient that operating system would be, right? So and how secure it would be, right? So here we have key-based authentication. So that would be a whole session of how to configure that. Obviously, as of now, you might have came across in your Amazon web service. If you already used AWS or GCP, you might have downloaded a file called as PIM or .ppk file. So as of now, you might not have an idea what is this file especially, right? So that is what, like, it is a private key. Okay, so private and public key. So that is a key pair. So that is very, very important. This topic, we will be seeing that. Very interesting one as well. This one will be. And yeah, the next one is your firewall settings. How a system or the networking point of view, how we are creating a walled garden setup, and how to like the ingress and egress, how it is working here. So those things we will be seeing, and yeah, again, file permissions and yeah, SC Linux. So SC Linux full form is secure Linux, and how that works. So like what is SC context, and like how to say do a SC manage to a specific Boolean or something. So those things, obviously these are all kind of advanced topics. So we will be seeing all this. Okay. And the next one is here networking. So networking, again, it is a separate topic altogether, or a separate concepts, right? So a lot of concepts comes in, especially networking, but to a OS point of view, how it works. So that is what we'll be seeing. Okay, so like how to configure static IP, how to like on which configuration file you will do that, and if something goes wrong in that configuration file, how would you diagnose that, and how to set a host name. So this all we'll be seeing in the next session itself, how to set a host name and all. And yeah, so network services, or we will add a new interface and how to configure that. So this kind of basic things only we'll be seeing, as well as how to add a new route and configure that again. Okay, so those kind of stuffs only we'll be seeing, not in depth, right? So, but I will give a basic idea how or what it is, and we will be seeing that, because it is very huge topic. If we explain all the IP, what is IP then? So all this, obviously, you might have a basic idea. I will give anyhow basic idea how it works, but yeah, I won't go too deep into the networking, right? So the next one is here containers. So you might have heard a term called as Docker, right? So Docker is kind of market leader now for containers, and yeah, Red Hat has their own container called as Podman. It is almost the replica of Docker, actually. Almost it is the same. So very few features it would differ. So that is what we will be seeing. So a container based on Red Hat, as well as like, yeah, this is an exam question, by the way. So how to create a startup service using the container. So, and lastly, we'll be seeing VMware vSphere. So now you might ask, okay, vSphere, and actually we will be installing VMware Workstation. Okay, so what is the difference between these two? So we will be seeing that, because this is what in your enterprise we will be using VMware vSphere. And this is what VMware Workstation is. So Workstation is for our local machine, or so like a not commercial one. Okay, so it is a freeware, actually, VMware Workstation. Pro is also there. Anyhow, I'll be giving you guys the Pro version. Okay, so with that, our syllabus is completed. So this all will be covering within 20 to 25 hours maximum, right? So every day it would be around 2 hours. The session would be, except today, because this is an introductory session, right? So like, yeah, so on every Saturday, Sunday, we will have 2 hour session, and this is a paid course again. So it is around like 3,999, and in USD it is $48. So like once you click here, this would be the payment link. And yeah, so this is an important drive link. Okay. Why? Because anything related to our course, right? I'll be adding that file in this resource link. So let me just send you in the chat as well. Right. So yeah. So now we can see just a sec, Gabriel. Okay. So let me just complete or show you how this one works, and we'll be seeing all the doubt session. Okay. Yeah. So now, yeah, you see this question paper, right? So this is not the actual question paper you will receive in your exam, but almost the same concepts, it will be the same, right? So it is also there in your in this resource section. Okay, so there is two variant of this. So this is only questions, and this one will have questions and the respective answer to it, right? So there is another version as well. So this one, RHCSA dump. So this is not an actual. Again, you might ask whether we will receive the same question. You might or you might not, right? So it depends on the like official Red Hat decision at the end of the day, right? So, but almost the same topics you might get. So because literally we are covering every basic topics, basic to intermediate, right? So you will receive all these topics. Or once you have prepared those topics, you can easily answer all this. So that is the thing. So please do bookmark this drive, and it is an open drive. So anyone can access this one. So that is the thing. So the next one is this is how you need to download this ISO. Okay, so in next session, please make sure you're downloading this ISO if you want to access the local or the VMware workstation method. Okay, so you need to download this and this too. So these two are very, very important. So this one is around 600 MB and this is around 9.4 gigs. So this is around more than 10 gigs it will be. So please do download this two applications. So why? Because this is how we will be configuring the local setup. So for the people who are not like ready to install, or like if you want to run in a cloud service provider, obviously you can from AWS, GCP, or Azure. So Azure actually is good, but Azure is not giving you a free credit, right? So they used to give, if even now they are giving only for students, right? So you need to submit your ID card and much more documentations are there. So instead you can go prefer AWS and GCP. Okay, so you need to spin up an instance, a VM instance in your AWS or GCP, then you're good, right? So instead of installing or downloading all this, simply you can create an account in these two. So anyhow, I'll show you how to do those as well. So don't worry that, okay, I won't explain this. So like obviously we will see how to initiate, because at the end of the day, this is a practical session. So like we will see very few theory part. So almost everything will be a practical one. So that is the reason the first thing, or the most priority one, is for you to have an active system. So either if you are having this is actually a VM, right? So anyhow, I'll show you how to install this and configure this. But yeah, so you must have an active VM in order to proceed further with the session. And make sure if you're using an enterprise laptop, if you can install this VMware workstation, then it is fine. If you not, try to use any one of the cloud service provider. Okay, so if you don't have a personal laptop, so if you have a personal laptop, please do use your like your lab, like VMware workstation. Yeah, then I
Good morning.
unmuted you.
Yeah, good morning. So if you have Ubuntu, does it also work for this Ubuntu? If you have Ubuntu installed?
Ubuntu, no, actually. So this mostly we'll be seeing all the Red Hat related only. So,
Okay.
but you can use some commands from here to Ubuntu, some basic commands. Okay, but
Okay.
we will be seeing anyhow this Red Hat operating system itself is I included with this resources. So please do download the same version, or you can download this from the official site also. So you just Google Red Hat 9 ISO or 8 ISO. So you'll be ending up with this first link, or you just click here. But here it will ask you to create an account. Okay, so once you created your account, you are eligible to download all this. Like these many versions are there. So in order for you to avoid the confusion, I included the ISO here itself. So yeah,
Okay.
you can download any version, but make sure it is rel. So that is the thing. So Ubuntu, yeah, you can use, but better to use the Red Hat only. That is what I would suggest. Right.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So if you are going to download via this official site, yeah, so try to download this one, the one which has more size, right? Why? Because including the packages, this would be. So what is packages now? All the what is that? Python and Ansible, all the third-party packages also, it will be bundled with the operating system. So this is the actual operating system, which is just 766 MB. But you should use this one only. So if you are trying to download from the official site, so let me just send you guys the official site in the chat. I cannot copy paste link. It does not let me. You just click on the link, Mirabel. Okay, so you just click on the link. If you're accessing from your mobile, so just click and you can bookmark and you can go back later to that link as well, right? So anyhow, it is already included in this PDF. So don't worry, just click on this hyperlink. It will be redirecting you to that this resource link. Okay, so and this been there for quite some time. This is my around 8th batch, right? So we've been successfully completed almost 7 batch prior to this one. So that's what. And next one is if you're not part of any of the WhatsApp group. So if you're joined from your what is that? Like any one of your friend referred you or some like why? Because um, all this any communication regarding our session, it will be posted here. Like if there is no session tomorrow for some reason, you can like it will be communicated only using the WhatsApp group. So please click on this link and allow. Yeah, you will be seeing this group. So click on join. You will be right away will be part of that group. Okay, and if you have any technical doubts, obviously drop an email to me. And any payment related doubts, you can reach out to the group admins. So WhatsApp group admins. And payment related, you can reach out to me. Anyhow, I'll be redirecting you to them only. Okay, so that is the thing. And the next one is, yeah, the first two sessions will be free, right? So and on the third session, only for the paid candidates, the Zoom link will be changed anyhow, and only they will be receiving that. So that is the thing. Let me just unmute you, Gabriel.
Yes, I'm trying to download that software. Just to be sure, I am not seeing that one you mentioned 650 MB. I'm just seeing a lot of only the VM one, and which says 390 MB. I don't know if I got the right thing. Is
So
it possible?
you're saying that you can't see this ISO, or only you are seeing this one?
Yes, I can see this arrow ISO. I think this from this Google Drive link, right? This Drive link you
Let,
sent to us.
let me change the
Okay.
view. So yeah,
Okay.
you need to download these two files, Gabriel.
Okay.
So VMware Workstation Pro 16.2.executable file .exe
Okay.
and this ISO. Okay,
Okay.
so you might have
Okay.
tried this text file. This is just a key of that software.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so you might have downloaded this one.
When I click the link, it's not showing like this. Is it in a folder? Is it
Okay,
like
this is in ISO and VMware folder. Not
okay, got you.
here. Yeah, so I just separated
Excellent.
that. Yeah, so
Okay.
you just go to ISO and VMware, and here you can see these two. So
Okay,
yeah,
got you. That
yeah,
was the issue. Thank you.
and yeah, no problem. So
ISO.
yeah, Raja. So I unmuted you. Yeah. So, and for the people who can't download, or if you're having some issue downloading the ISO, right? So you can download via torrent. I will show you how to do that as well in a moment. Yeah, Raja, you're unmuted.
Yeah, thank you, Karthik. How are you?
Yeah, great. How about you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would to know since I've been allocated with some patching related stuffs actually going to be. I would wish to know in Linux how they will do the patching. Is there any tools available, or are we going to see anything related to patching in this course?
Yeah. I will be showing you how to do a patching, but not as enterprise patching, right? So because we don't have that option, but I will be showing you. It is already included in this like notes. Okay, so here, so day-to-day activities. So whatever I am doing in the day-to-day activities, it will be here. So anyhow, we will cover that, Raja. So don't worry about the patching, right? So what, like, why we need to do that, and if something goes wrong in the patching, right? So what and all we will be taking care. So those things we'll be seeing. So
What are the major patching tools used in general when it comes to enterprises?
patching, actually, the majorly we will run a script in some cases, or there is not like in your Windows you have a WSIS services are there, right, for the patching. In Linux you don't have a specific like third-party tool or something. So mostly it is like your yum update or yum package management only we will be using, right? So mostly we will do that. So that is like, and even the kernel patch we'll be doing that. So, so that is what we personally use. So I'm not sure in some companies they might use a third party one as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
When we say third party, by any chance you heard about there is a third party tool called Big Data on patching by any chance? It seems like
Big data. Big data, is it a third party company or so? Like, I'm
I'm not
not
very
sure.
yeah.
No, yeah, even I'm not sure. But like as a server point of view, most companies prefer only the yum, like direct yum repo config, like yum repo update, rather than yeah. So there are two updates actually. One is satellite server update as well as the local repo update. So those two methods we'll be seeing anyhow, how to configure that or how it is updated. All those yum related concepts we'll be seeing. So yeah, that would be covered in the session.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah. So Shafi is asking in the chat, Linux admin 3 years. Yeah, obviously, Shafi. So 3 years is more than enough for this course. So once you are done with this course, you can obviously you can't simply put the experience, right? So you need to anyhow. Like this is like not an advanced level we'll be seeing. So many advanced topics are there. Once you will get a foundational idea how the Linux works, and almost the important stuff only will be seen. Not like only user management or only this. Almost every topics we are we are covering in the session, right? So that is the thing. So this graph is very, very important because that is what uh, differs between each operating system. Like this is the same for even Windows, but like each components, it would be a different one, right? So networking will be a whole different thing when it comes to Windows or Mac OS. And the thing is that Mac is also based on Linux, the kernel, and even Bash shell, or almost everything would be Mac is based on Linux only, right? So that is the thing. So yeah, let me show you how to just a sec. Yeah, let me show you how to install or how to download this ISO if you're not able to download in direct download, right? So if you just right click and download and you can't, let's say if there is, even if you can, or it is interrupted, let's say, because it is a huge size, right? So in that case, you have a torrent file. So how to install a torrent? Just a sec, let me pause the session. Yeah. So you just Google uTorrent. Okay, so uTorrent, and yeah, just click on free download, free here as well. You will be downloaded with this one. So I already have that, and click on open and install this one. So let me, anyhow, yeah. So it will install this software. So once you are done, you just give next and install this one. Okay, so once you install, you will be, this is the torrent like application. So now you just download this ISO. So right click and download this. So this is the extension is .torrent. Okay, so you just open that and it would be the same file, guys. Okay, so you just click on OK, the same, but you are downloading via torrent. So once you are done, so why or what is the use of torrent, right? You can continue. So if something there is a slow internet, or if you're facing any technical issue, if it is a direct download, right? Let's say the internet is not there, or it is not as faster, right? So it will be cancelled. So again, from first it will be downloaded, since it is a UDP one, right? So here it is like you can stop, pause, or start, anything you can do, but make sure you have this ISO. So once you downloaded this files, if you see, this is the same ISO days. Okay, so that is very, very important. And if you don't want to do in personal laptop, so we will see how to do that in AWS and GCP as well. Yeah, Daniel, I unmuted you.
Yes. So we so we are downloading the ISO, the VMware workstation, right? And then the torrent. So 3 softwares.
Yeah, so ISO and the VMware workstation, two softwares.
Okay, you are talking about the other one, torrent.
So yeah, okay. If you can't download this one, right? So if you don't have if you can't download this right away, you can download via torrent. This is another way actually.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. So if you don't have right away, you can't download it, right? So you can download via torrent. The same torrent file it is, or the same file, but in a torrent format it is. So this is how you need to download that using uTorrent. You can
so torrent is it like a package manager or something?
No, it is a peer-to-peer software. So it is not, yeah, you can like any .torrent extension files, you can download that. So
Okay.
it won't be downloaded in a single shot, right? So it will be downloaded via this trackers, and a lot of stuff goes in the background. So that is what. Okay,
And for
so
the iOS, is there any order, like the workstation, or is there any order, like which one first to download,
no, you
or it
can
doesn't
download
matter?
both. It doesn't matter. So both are
Okay.
separate things altogether. But this is your actual operating system, your
Okay.
RHEL 8.4. So yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
yeah, no problem. So yeah, so this is what the session will be all about. So mostly we'll be revolving around RHCSA and much more than that. So that is, so you don't think that okay, only this certificate concepts we'll be seeing. So the key SSH key pair or the system diagnostics. So those things won't be there in the certification, right? So we'll be covering more than that. So that is the thing. So now, so what is the, like, why still RHCSA is preferred, right? So, okay, let's say you're done with RHCSA, what next? So you have RHCE, Red Hat Certified Engineer, and you can go a lot. There are so many, a huge suite of certifications in Red Hat. Around 37 certificates are there. So obviously, you must have much patience, and you need to have a lot of knowledge in order to clear all those. But this will create a foundational knowledge for you when it comes to Linux or Red Hat in general, right? So that is the thing. And once you're done with this course, what you can apply for. So what are all the roles you are eligible for and apply, right? So if you're a fresher, obviously you can apply for a system engineer, intern, or if you are already having 1 to 2 years of experience in some other department also, since you have the certification, right? So 1 or 2 years experience, if you are already like you're from service desk or some other non-technical, like incident management team or backup team, like that, any team if you're part of, since you've done this certificate, right? So it is just like a credibility in your resume. So you can do that, and you just give a shot to that interview that anyhow you have a practical knowledge. Obviously you clear the exam, right? So you can apply for system engineer. Obviously, if you are a senior person, you will be eligible for senior system engineer and all. So once you are done, and you need to study for some other tools for DevOps engineer. So right away, you you are eligible for that, but you can't right away apply for DevOps. For DevOps engineer, you need to understand the whole DevOps life cycle, and obviously not all the tools. There is a plethora of tools in DevOps, right? So obviously you need not understand or study for everything. Just study 4 or 5 tools. I would suggest Git after our Linux. So Linux is very important, especially. So Linux, Git, and you can study Ansible. So in each separate, okay, let me show you a DevOps uh, image. Yeah. So in this life cycle, right? So each component or each stage, you need to study at least 1 tool. Okay. So again, you need not study the whole thing. Just study the basic. You need to have the basic understanding. So because if you want to study the whole, Git also will be a huge topic, and same thing goes for Ansible or any other. So that is the thing. So don't study the whole thing. I would suggest to, because it is huge one, and you will be studying around 10 to 15 tools, right? So it would take you a lot of time. Obviously, that is a good thing, but don't study fully. Then only you will apply for the companies. Study till 30 to 40% of all the tools, then you can apply for the DevOps tools, right? So that is the thing. And yeah, so many tools are there. So for the monitoring, and so obviously in your interviews they will ask you for monitoring like ELK stack. And from this image I can say you like Jenkins, it will be asked in your interview. And what else? Containers like Docker. So if you study for Podman, you can even tell in the exam, sorry, in your interview that you know Podman. So almost Podman and Docker are same, right? So you can tell that like that. So DevOps also it is eligible. So after DevOps, the next one would be your SRE, Site Reliability Engineer. Okay, so you are eligible for that as well. For all these roles, Linux is the foundation one. Obviously, sysadmin. So very, very important. And this is the first thing you can apply for right away. You are eligible for, especially in Linux sysadmin. Right. So there are Linux, VMware admin, and Windows are there majorly. So since you anyhow you'll be studying Linux, right? Or you'll be practicing that. You are eligible for all these 4 roles. Okay, so that is the main thing after the sessions. So obviously, right away after the session, you can't apply for everything. Just you need to practice for at least one month. Then you are eligible for all this. And if you are done with the certification, right away you can apply for the companies. Right. So yeah. And why? Because many does the mistake that okay, I will study the whole thing and then only I will apply. So obviously Linux is a huge thing. Even after working for like 15 to 20 years, my seniors also, they can't like fully study, right? Since it is a whole operating system, no one has a time also the energy to study the whole thing. So even if you study, there would be a new thing it would replace that, right? So obviously Linux won't be replaced, but the point here is please don't think that okay you need to study everything. So that is the thing. You just have a practical knowledge of something and right away you can apply for the companies. So that is the thing. My previous batch people also does that, like they will study the whole or the advanced concepts a lot. So just apply for it. And yeah, so that is the not an advice by the way. So just the experience which I've been facing. So that's the thing. And yeah, is there any more doubts? So please make sure you download this ISO, guys. Very, very important for next session. And next session, I'll be showing you how to install in your AWS as well as this VMware as well, like AWS, GCP, and VMware. Okay, so yeah, Daniel, I unmuted you.
So I just downloaded the tool. How do you get into it? Or is it we don't open them?
Okay, so you already downloaded the ISO, is it? Like or VMware workstation? Which one you downloaded?
Yeah.
Both.
Both.
Oh, awesome. So if you're already downloaded, anyhow, in tomorrow's session, I'll be showing you how to install. So if you are, if you want it to be, or you want it to install right away, you can follow this guide. Actually, I already made a PDF of steps how to install that.
Okay.
So yeah, you can follow. That is also in this resources link.
Okay.
So you can follow this. Anyhow, I'll be showing you tomorrow. So if you can wait till tomorrow, that is also fine. But yeah.
So we are meeting tomorrow. I thought you said tomorrow for some reason we are not meeting. Or did I get you wrong?
Yeah, I will be just showing you how to install or initiate your lab. Why? Because that is very important, right? So because yeah, so many don't as of now never used Linux or Red Hat especially. So that is the reason I'll be showing you how to install and each components like you'll be seeing what it is like to in order to create the VM. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, if there is there any doubts, anyone? Can you can put it in the chat or And my previous sessions recording, you can see it in the YouTube. Sure, I'll be sending you the link. And please bookmark this link, guys, because anyhow, this link won't be changed. Okay, so please don't worry that this link will be changed or something, so it won't be. And yeah, so just let me scroll down. Yeah, I sent Raja the link. So many sessions. So yeah, it's just like AWS, Python is there. Yeah, Linux introduction. So this is my previous batch. So this is like yeah, you can go through this one as well. So let me just share you both the links, right? So you can go through these as well. Okay, so yeah, so this is like you just go through this second or this Linux booting process. So this is what you'll be seeing tomorrow session. So you can go through and see how's my teaching method, and if you're fine, you can pay for the session. Anyhow, I'll be teaching the one in tomorrow's session anyhow. But yeah, if you want to see, there are so many videos previously. So yeah, this is again a previous batch. So like that, this is the 8th batch in my case. So you can see the previous batch, at least the demo sessions, it will be uploaded in the YouTube channel. So let me send this one as well. And if you are having any payment related queries, you can reach out to the WhatsApp group admin guys. Okay, so yeah, and you can click this link directly, it will redirect you to the payment link. So let me just show you. Yeah, so yeah, you can find the syllabus here as well, and click on buy the course, and you can pay with credit or debit or which method you can pay. Okay, so yeah, if there is no doubts, that's it for the day. So please make sure you download the ISO if you want to use in your personal laptop. If not, like AWS or GCP, anyhow, I'll show you how to install in those as well. Right. So yeah, that's it for the day, guys. Then. So if there is no doubts, thanks all then. Okay, Daniel is out.
So the time is 5:30.
Yeah, so the time is 6 p.m. IST. So it is. So you can convert it to your time zone, Daniel. 6 p.m. IST it is.
Okay, let me because I thought it was supposed to be till 7:30 my time.
No, like 6 p.m. IST it is. And yeah, so anyhow, you will have the recordings, right? So if you can't join, and okay, let me just share. So there is already a previous batch recording is also there. So if you are not having a time to join the session, and you can do a self-paced as well of the same content. So it is, yeah, this one.
So 5:30 my time.
Yeah.
And it ends at is it like 2 hours, right?
Yeah, it is a 2-hour session. Yeah. So this is the link for the recorded session there. So self-paced recording, you just go here and you can enroll here. So you'll be like right away having access to all the notes as well as the recorded videos, right? So it will be around 23 hours, I guess, the whole, yeah, so it will be 23 hours. So yeah. So if there is no doubts, that's it for the day, guys. Then see you in tomorrow's session.
All right.
So yeah,
Thank you.
thanks, Daniel, and thanks all. Have a great day. Bye bye.